Erlengrat is this week's review choice. For me, it is the third and final of the base maps from Farming Sim 22, which means it still has quite a heavy beginner focus. However, it tends to sort of narrow in more on forestry and logging as a whole, with massive areas of land that you can buy with just trees on it and quite a hilly sort of expanse. Very pretty map. It's very large, it's very flat in the arable areas, and today we're going to have a good look at it and see what the pros and cons of playing on this map really are. Erlengrat really is a map of two halves. As you can see here, it doesn't look very big until you realise that all of this area down here is all buyable farmland. They're all separate plots. They're very large pieces of land, but you get a lot of trees and forestry and other sort of building materials on it and stuff as well. The land isn't actually all that expensive. Like this bit here, depending on how large it is still only £153,000. Plot 9, for example, is only £385,000, which is really, really good. Like, it means that you can get into your sort of logging expanse if you want to fairly early on for fairly cheap, especially if you start with Farm Manager. You will then have more than enough money to buy that land and all of the forestry equipment. I, on my playthrough, did not. I ended up buying plot 43 and 42. 42, because I didn't look first, actually has sugar beet on it, which is going to be interesting when it comes around to harvest time. Luckily, it's a very small plot of land. You have a nice river here running all the way through the center of the map with a decent amount of access points to it, which it makes it very easy to get into. It's not as easy as, say, Hewitt Belleron, which has a very nice lake in the middle of the map, but it's not lots of steep, uneven sort of areas to it either. There is an animal dealer over this side. You've got the train, which goes all the way through. Again, it goes through the center of the map. It would be nice maybe if the train came down here, so you could have some extra areas for logging potential to send to other towns and cities, but it is what it is. You've got a decent shop area here, and the difference between this and Elm Creek is how alive it feels, because this top area is very sort of built up. It feels alive. There's lots of people walking around. There's lots of different shops and stuff, even if you can't use those shops yourself. You've got a biogas plant over here, which is nice. So it's got pretty much everything you need. The field sizes are rather small, though. The largest field you've got looks to be field 3. And even then, that's not huge. So you're not going to be making a lot of money from contracts, honestly. You'll be making maybe 5 to 10 grand, 15 if you're lucky, depending on what the contract is. However, they are very open and easy to get to. There's nothing really obstructing your way, so you can use whichever piece of equipment you like, which means that you can go for nice big pieces of equipment to make the jobs go very, very quickly. However, again, the main focus on this map is definitely buying odd pieces of land for forestry, right? There's lots and lots of forest areas around here, so it can really allow you to sink your teeth in. Immediately, you are granted with the glorious sight of this absolutely fantastic mountainous range, with a really big building on top that you can't actually get to, which is a bit of a shame. But you can see all of the forestry as far as I can see. A really nice bridge over there as well. There is traffic on the map. It does get angry at you, but you can also see how open and easy to access the actual fields are. Now, there are fences on the game, but they don't actually do anything. They're not solid fences, which is actually kind of useful. As we go down, you can see that you've got the animal dealer and the animal shop and everything next to a couple of fields, and you've got the railway station as you go through as well. It's very, very well laid out. Like, this map is stunning to look at, very well laid out, and you can pretty much go anywhere to get anywhere, right? If we go down here, we can come around in a big circle and come back to where we started. Again, the field layout is fantastic for newer players because it's easy to access, it's easy to get to, and like I said, you can use bigger pieces of machinery without the fear of getting caught. If you don't have crop destruction on, you can just jump across the fields without the fear of running into a fence or a hedge that you're not going to be able to get around or out of. And it does it in such a way that even though it's flat and level, like I said, unlike Erlengrat, which has a very similar effect with the fields, it also doesn't feel dead. It's not long before you're in some more sort of technology or built-up areas. It feels alive. The map feels like it has a lot going on in it all of the time. There is a spinnery, which is also really nice because it doesn't look like your typical spinnery. The way they've done it makes it look sort of part of it, as opposed to just being out of the way like it is on Hewitt-Belleron, like it's in the center of the city. But there is everything everywhere that you could ever need. The roundabouts are a little bit annoying. As you can tell, I don't really ever go on them. They're very tight, which can make it a bit of a problem to navigate with the bigger pieces of machinery. But again, you can just go across the fields if you need to. All in all, the thing that makes me like this map the most is just the breathtaking scenery. They have done really well with making everything look scaled properly, right? You've got these beautiful mountainous region in the background that you can access the majority of. These houses and these shops look absolutely incredible. They're very, very quaint. They've done a really good job. I also like the fact that, as with Erlengrat, not Erlengrat, we're on Erlengrat, as with Hewitt-Belleron, the fuel station is right next to the shop. This is incredibly handy. I don't think they did that with Elms Creek, but I could be wrong. I can't necessarily remember. But definitely for Hewitt-Belleron and Erlengrat, the fuel is right next to the shop, which makes it very easy to access, which is always a plus, right? Because the last thing you want to do is spend your time looking for the fuel stop, because if you run out of fuel, you're kind of in trouble. Overall, I really, really like this map. I have enjoyed my time on it this week over on TikTok. It's not gone too badly at all. I picked up a rather awesome deal just before the end of stream yesterday on TikTok, where I managed to pick up a rather large harvester for over half of the money off from the discount store. That little beauty right there. And all I had to do was sell the New Holland that I'd already bought, so I got a much better deal. It cost me like $4 grand extra for that one than what I had sold the previous one for. But that's beside the point. Overall, this is a really fantastic map that you can do a lot with. You can pretty much harvest whatever you wanted on it. Cotton would work really well because of the spinnery that's already there. You can also do arable or just go straight up animal farming, buying one of the fields and just turning it into pens, or buying field or plot 42, which is what I did, and putting the pens up there to make it easy to access as well. Let me know in those comments down below what you think, if you agree with me that this is one of the prettiest maps that they have. I don't think it's my favourite. I think Calmston still pips it, with Hewitt-Belleron still being my favourite base game map, but it's a very, very close second. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.